everybody and welcome back to the funniest tweets. Today we are going to be going through the Belgian Grand Prix. We finally reached summer break and it was great to see Ferrari convert pole to victory. That didn't happen, that will be in my dreams tonight, but your reactions did happen and there are some amazing ones, so let's dive into them right now. Signs, problems. How can we not start an episode of Funniest Tweets without talking about problems for Ferrari? At Screwdery F1, this was absolutely fantastic. And of course, this was to do with lap 1, where Sainz was on the outside going towards turn 1, then decided, you know what, no, I'm going to go to the inside line. Quite an aggressive direction change, it has to be said. And poor old Oscar Piastri, off the back of an amazing P2 in the sprint, sees the scarlet red Ferrari coming across even more, and Oscar, tight to the wall, makes contact with both the Ferrari and also I think a little bit to the inside wall, and it just screwed his car completely. Oscar Piastri out the race, Sainz with a gaping hole, a little bit similar I'd say to how Perez had his car in the sprint, and Sainz just carried on. At Ricciardo, don't get why they still have him out. Yeah, Ferrari were like, look, we got 4 weeks off. Let's just keep doing laps. We can get some data in the simulations and all that good stuff that we can analyse for holes in cars, and potentially, you know, we could bring a whole upgrade. Get it? Hole? Like I made that up on the spot. But you know what I mean? I don't know why Ferrari kept him out. There's mileage on the engine, parts, all that good stuff that were in full working order. You know, the other parts that don't need to have the stress of the car because it was incredibly slow. Sainz was getting mugged. He was fighting Logan Sargent for last place. And eventually, I think lap 23 or so, they brought him in to retire. Perhaps maybe they were hoping for some rain to equalise the performance slightly. I don't know, but it just seemed like a waste of time. At John05 John, Carlos Sainz this race after the Piastri incident. Yeah, I mean, I would say it was definitely more on Carlos, that particular incident. They decided, the stewards, not to penalise Carlos for it. Lap 1, turn 1 incident. I felt like Carlos could have maybe not changed his direction as much, but he got the penalty for it in terms of the damage to his car, and it's a shame because Piastri and Sainz, they probably would have been rocking around the top 5, top 6, so it was a bit of a shame. Verstappen versus engineer. Now we move to one of the best points of the race, and it was nothing to do with wheel-to-wheel action because we had none of that really at the front, did we? Let's be honest. But it was a battle between Verstappen and GP, his engineer. At Crystal Horner, GP on the radio to Max every other lap. It's it's pretty, I don't know, it was weird. I was trying to sort of process whether it genuinely is that way that they work together, sarcasm, bouncing off each other, and I think it does seem that way. But GP was, like, the sassometer levels was a little bit high compared to, I mean, we weren't hearing Max's comebacks, if he had any, until right at the end with the pit stop. But yeah, I was like, GP, do we need this sass? He's 17 seconds clear of Perez. He's very nearly got a pit stop. Do we need the sass? But apparently we did. At L_Rushy, not sure that was sensible. Sassy GP engaged. That was, of course, around his outlap, and apparently it wasn't sensible to set a ridiculously fast outlap. But then again, I feel like Max knows what he's doing. And of course, they have the data and tyre temperatures and yada, 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 and I'm sure that they go, well, that's not optimum in terms of the whole strategy. But every single time Max does something that Red Bull don't like, he wins the race anyway, doesn't he? At Daffy XF1, the tone of Max's engineer is ice cold. But as I say, I think that they work that way. I'm sure they speak to each other like that all the time out of the car as well. If it was a problem, Red Bull would of course flag it and change it, but it seems like it works. And I mean, he's won 8 races in a row. Red Bull have not lost a race this year. Hamilton fastest lap. Now, this part is, of course, around Hamilton stealing the fastest lap point away from Verstappen right at the end of the race. At _Liam Cooney _ Max is hilarious today. And of course, he was trolling us, wasn't he? He was saying, oh, you know, I could push the tyres. We can have a little bit of pit stop practice. I am absolutely convinced that Max Verstappen's powers are channeled directly from the tears of Formula One fans around the world. The angrier, the more upset we get, the stronger Verstappen Thanos gets. We need to pretend that we enjoy the domination, and then perhaps his powers will weaken. We're in big trouble, aren't we? This season, we're in big... I mean, it is unbelievable from Verstappen, don't get me wrong. He is performing at almost... I mean, how far away from perfection is he? Is perfection reachable? That's up to you to debate. But he is performing at a level that no one can touch. His teammate, no other teams, no other drivers. The car's incredible. The driver is also just incredible. But wow, it's not Verstappen. Verstappen, yeah, is about to take away Vettel's 9-race win streak that no one ever thought would be beaten. At Erikoff, Max Verstappen looking for his race engineer after hearing Lewis Hamilton got the fastest lap. I'm not surprised Red Bull didn't, get on the blower and go, Max, Lewis's pit for fastest lap, so that point's going to be in danger. Because we all know Max would have either asked for a pit stop, because I think he could have slotted in and then come out for the final lap push, potentially. I'm not sure exactly when it was. But I know for a fact Max wanted to come in earlier because he could have pushed, and he did have the gap as well for a pit stop. So I'm sure that there will be some sarcastic remarks that happen in the debrief. At Neil Knight, Verstappen seeing Hamilton try out some pit stop training on the last lap. Of course, Mercedes need every point they can get. They're fighting for P2 in the Constructors. They're trying to get as high up as they possibly can. They're fighting Ferrari, Aston Martin, potentially even McLaren in the future, although they dipped a little bit this weekend, didn't they? Their charge of the last few races came to a halt. I'm sorry, McLaren fans, but it's true. Although Lando did a great job, a great comeback drive to finish P7. At Pilar _ Martinez B, Lewis taking the fastest lap from Max be like. I'm sure there's just a small, tiny good feeling for Lewis, just to nab that off Max, because there's nothing else they can really take from Red Bull at this stage. Max took the position from Hamilton like candy from a baby, but at one point will feel good, I'm sure. At Agent 7x200, Hamilton taking fastest lap off Verstappen. It ain't much, but it's honest work. It certainly is, and there were some massive gaps, weren't there? I think it was back to Alonso and Russell in 5th and 6th. Hamilton had a chasm that he could come out in, and on the mediums as well, took it on the last lap. Honourable mentions. Right, we're into the largest segment, to be fair, because there's quite a few different ones. At Leo Dozer, he can win every race. That's mad. That picture is crazy. Imagine if we are that old and we're still doing watch-alongs. That would be quite something. At Erikoff, Verstappen is so bored, Blood is doing some side quests at the moment. Yeah, oh God, we are so thirsty, aren't we? We are so hungry, we are famished for a banger. Now, I wouldn't call the Belgian Grand Prix an absolute stinker. It was for obviously the lead of the race, but we all, as F1 fans, need to accept we are not getting a battle for the lead anymore. We're not. We're just, it's not, unless something crazy happens or mechanical failure or a yeet happens, we aren't getting a battle for the lead in a straight fight. The battles in the midfield were actually pretty entertaining. There was a lot of overtakes. There was a lot of differing elements of a strategy, some going long, some pitting really early. And so they all sort of came together towards the end. And I found that quite interesting. I'd probably give it a 6. What would you give it? Let me know in the comments right now, and also please subscribe to this P1 channel. We're nearing to 400,000 subscribers, which would be amazing to hit. Please hit that subscribe button. I heard that every time you subscribe, it's one little bit closer to getting a battle for the win. At Ahmed _ Bawakba, Formula One, the pinnacle of motorsport. Yeah, look, there's nothing beats a hand out of the pit wall. Because you can see all these colours coming in, the intensity of rain differing, but until it hits, those are just pictures on a screen. How do you know that it's gonna fall at all? I don't know geography very well or meteorology very well. But what we do know is rain on hand means it's raining. At Scuderia F1, another one from them, well done. Objects in... Oh, dearie me. I mean, to be fair, he's not made many overtakes this year, has he? I saw an amazing graphic going around Perez. Oh, he's on a charge. Oh, he's had 40 overtakes in the last 5 or 6 Grand Prix, and Max Verstappen had only had 1. But that's because Perez is not very good at qualifying this year, is he? At Joe Gamer 6p. I know Leclerc hasn't DNF, but still. We've witnessed another Charles Leclerc pole position, Max Verstappen win. Max Verstappen has more wins from Charles Leclerc poles than Charles Leclerc has from Charles Leclerc poles. 5 wins, 20 pole positions for Charles Leclerc currently. Now, I would argue, as of course a fanboy, just passionate, is that he has outperformed the car and got pole positions when he probably shouldn't have at times. But I know that it doesn't look very good on paper, does it? For those people that look back through the records in 50 years' time, God, that's Charles Leclerc. A lot of pole positions, but couldn't convert to victory, could he? That's not very good. It was good, I promise. At Crystal Horner, F1 drivers in 2023. Okay, I'm gonna fight Max. Damn, Max got DRS. That DRS on that Red Bull is just redonkulous. It's actually quite close in qualifying when we don't have DRS, bit of rainy conditions. Oh, Saturdays are unbelievable for Formula One. Sundays are so bad. So unbelievably bad. I think we changed the format to FP1 qualifying on Friday. On Saturday, we have qualifying and then another set of qualifying. And then on Sunday, qualifying. Sorted. At a nerd champ. But they can't win every race. There's another amazing Photoshop there. How long are we going to be waiting for? Is it a mere races? Is it going to be a couple of seasons? I daren't think. At Scotty's Designs, Lando's car when it feels a drop of rain. McLaren went for a very high downforce setup this weekend. Meant that they were amazing in the middle sector, meant that they were amazing in the rain, as we saw, especially with Oscar Piastri in the sprint. But what it did mean is that when it was dry, he got absolutely mugged on a straight line. In a straight line. That's words. So actually, to be fair though, when he was clear of DRS of cars around him, he did an incredible job. Had an amazingly long, soft stint at the end, and he managed to secure P7 after, I think, being down in 18th at one point. So, well done, Lando. At Severe Kenzo, Ferrari and Red Bull have both possessed the ability to crush every single hope that F1 fans could have. The only problem is that they could do it in completely different ways. Oh, that's... Is that a movie you'd watch? Hope Crushers? The Untold Tale of Matt's Despair and Tommy's Elation. To be fair, we have got a serious compilation coming at the end of the year, I think, of... the amount of times my hopes have been crushed. At June Seps, he can't win every... Maybe we stop saying that phrase. Maybe we say that they can win every race. They will win every race. Is that better? And the final submission is something I've already spoken about, but I thought we'd leave it on a really high note for Ferrari fans. At Forza Francesca, name a more iconic duo. Yeah. No, I see that as a positive. Pole position, P1. Come on, Charles Leclerc. And a podium. We take those. A bit of silverware. 3 podiums this year. All to Charles. So well done, Charles. Good work. I'm totally happy with that. Right, it is now Tommy's Tasty Tweet Time. My favourite segment of any hour, of any day, of any month, of any year, of any millennium. Hi, Tommy.
Hello.
You ready to share who has won a copy of F1 23?
I sure am. It is Scuderia F1 with this brilliant take on the classic Michael Schumacher moment. That's Max looking for his race engineer after hearing Lewis got fastest lap. Love it.
That's amazing because Scuderia came with another funny one, which was the Sainz car meme. Which there's a few Max Verstappens in this episode that are dominating the memes. You better be picking it up. Hashtag P1. All right, for future episodes. You know, recharge the batteries. Come back with good memes, and you could win copy of F1 23. Well done to Scuderia F1, and well done to Tom Bellingham for being sexy. Bye! Okay, that is it. Thank you so much for tuning in to the funniest tweets to the Belgian Grand Prix. I want to thank each and every one of you for an amazing first half of the season in terms of you tuning in, supporting this channel, whether it's on Twitch, through our audio podcast, whether it's watching series like this on YouTube. Whatever it is, just thank you so much. It genuinely means the world how this channel has grown and the love and support that you have shown us throughout this epic adventure. It's not even been 6 months yet, and we can't believe that we're in the position we are, and we can't wait to make Formula One content for you for however long you want it to happen. We've also got a few days left on our P1 merch launch. There'll be a link in the description if you want to cop a hoodie or a t-shirt. I think we've got a couple of days until they all get sent out. Then another one will come after that. But if you want it in a few days, then get involved. That is it. We're in the summer break now. We'll still have content for you. Don't worry. Not as much, but we'll still have some content to keep this tide over until we get to Zandvoort, where we're going to be there, me and Tommy. So that'll be exciting. We'll have podcasts and all kinds of content for you, as always. And that's been a very long outro. So we'll see you very soon. And bye-bye. Bye.